Welcome to the Voodoo Garden channel. My name is Ray. I am your host, and yeah, you don't see me in front of the camera, do you? That's because I don't feel like it. I decided to do something a little bit different. I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but just go with me, okay? Come on, I've had a long day. But I do have weekend edition questions. Welcome to weekend, well, wait a minute. This isn't the weekend. Okay, welcome to not the weekend edition. Well, it's some kind of edition, but it's questions from people, and I want to answer these, so you can't stop me. Garden Newbie says, I have a few kiwi vines growing, and I know that they need a male and a female plant to produce fruit. Really? Huh. Well, that's new to me. Oh, anyway, he continues with, so I was wondering, I also have a passion fruit growing. Ooh, passion fruits are good. But just one, and I was wondering if the same rules apply. That's my best answer, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, thanks for the question, Garden Newbie. I hope I helped. Next one is from Skywick1. And Skywick has two questions. Can you cross a banana and an apple? You're kidding me, right? Can you cross a banana and an apple? Skywick sounds like Dr. Frankenstein. No, you can't cross bananas and apples. You could in a blender. Just throw a banana, apple, some ice in a blender, and you got a smoothie. It's really pretty good. Okay, but as for growing them, no, don't be silly. Next question, have you ever grown Venus flytraps? Because my mom might get me one. Yeah, actually, I grew a Venus flytrap long time ago. Venus flytrap, now that was a fun plant. Only problem is, in the wintertime there are no flies, and I didn't know what to feed the thing, and I didn't know anything, about where to look to see what you feed them, so I threw some hamburger in there, and yeah, it killed them. Yeah, beef, no, don't do it. But they were fun to grow until I murdered them. Well, thanks for your question, Skywick1. Okay, next one comes from The Race Mixer. I've answered questions from him before, I think. And his question today is, since part of my garden had an early blight issue with tomatoes, you advised me not to plant tomatoes in the same spot next year. What else can I grow instead? And how long can I wait before I start growing tomatoes in the same spot? That's a really good question. As far as how long to wait to grow them, generally they say a few years. And you can grow anything that's not a nightshade. No peppers, no tomatoes, no potatoes, no eggplant. None of the nightshade family should go in that same spot for a few years. A lot of us don't have that convenience, so I just plant them in the same spot, and I've never had a problem. So my advice would be, don't worry about it, just take care of your plants and go ahead and plant them the next year. Forget what I said before, I was probably high on Diet Coke. Early blight is a pain to deal with, but it's not as bad as late blight. Late blight is a game ender. Once your plants get that, you're pretty much messed up. Early blight can be fixed. So if you get early blight, of course you tear off all the lower branches that are affected, clear out all the underbrush, and let some air get through there, and that will generally stop it or slow it down enough to where your plants can recover just nicely. Ooh, next one comes from a young viewer called Incredible Isaac 2. He has a question. Is heirloom when you can save the seeds on something for generations? Will only heirloom seeds germinate from a pepper from the fridge? How do I know if it's heirloom? Huh? I have no idea what that whole question thing even meant. Let me break it down. Break it down. Is heirloom when you can save the seeds on something for generations? No, Isaac. Heirloom is what happens when you save the seed for generations. You have that a little backwards. But if you save the seeds from a plant, grow them, save them, grow them, save them, grow them, save them for a few generations, half a dozen or so, you pretty much have an heirloom after that. That's what makes an heirloom. A plant that will grow true from the seed and not come up with some kind of freaky Franken plant. So that's what an heirloom is. Will heirloom seeds germinate from a pepper from the fridge? No, they will only germinate from an heirloom plant. Okay, last one. How do I know if it's heirloom? Well, that goes back to the first part. You save it for generations of plant. It takes a lot of work to make an heirloom from a hybrid or to make sure a plant is heirloom. It takes years of saving the seed. It's not something that's instant. It's something that you really have to work at unless you buy the seeds heirloom. This is why people love their heirlooms so much, because it actually takes a lot of work to make an heirloom plant, and an heirloom is something that you can trust from year to year to give you exactly what you want. So if you want an heirloom, either work hard at making your own heirlooms or buy heirloom seeds. Okay? Thanks, Isaac. And by the way, I wanted to give him a shout out because he asked me on Facebook. If anybody wants to see a new YouTuber going strong and getting his channel going, go check out Incredible Isaac 2. I'm going to put a link to him in the description. Okay, next one is from MX Trade. MX Trade's question is, I'm trying to grow asparagus from seed. It's been 4 weeks and nothing has sprouted. How long does it take and where should I keep the seedlings? Does the soil need to be at a certain temperature? Well, with mine, I just planted them at room temperature in my house, which is around 65 to 70 degrees, and I didn't give them any special conditions. I kept those seeds slightly moist at all times, and they sprouted in around 2.5 weeks. So if yours didn't sprout, there could be something wrong with the seeds, or there could be something wrong with the conditions in the soil. I have no idea, and I really don't know what to tell you because I don't know what's going on with your seeds. All I can say is if you've waited 4 weeks and nothing's come up, chances are you may not get anything, and the best thing to do, try again. Try again, keep trying, eventually it's gonna work, okay? Don't give up, all right? Okay, last question comes from Kim. Kim sent me a question over on the Voodoo Gardener website, and Kim asks, you may have answered this in a video, I haven't found it yet, but what do you feel about raised beds and square foot gardening? Good question, Kim. What do I feel about raised beds? Well, I have raised beds, and I use only raised beds, so I guess that pretty much tells you that I like them. They are wonderful. I prefer them over regular gardening, but that's just my preference. Some people like them, some people don't. It's a matter of preference. One method is not better than the other because everybody has their own way of gardening, whatever works for you. I prefer raised beds, but as far as square foot gardening, I don't do square foot gardening because I grow laterally. I like to let the plants sprawl out, and if you grow plants like I grow plants, square foot gardening is the last thing you want to do because my tomatoes are crazy, they're mean, they grab everything, and they're vicious. So the last thing I want to do is have a square foot garden with my crazy tomatoes. Oh, and I want to send out a special thank you to Archit from India, all the way from India. How cool is that? Archit sent me seeds for white eggplants, catheter rhesus. Ooh, I like rhesus. Those are delicious. And holy basil. Holy basil. That's what I meant. Shut up. Get off my back. And a letter. And what is this? Some kind of cotton thing. I don't know. It looks like he ripped off a piece of Santa Claus suit and shoved it in an envelope. Well, thank you. Thank you for that little bit of Santa Claus. This is my Christmas mail. Thank you, Archit. And Archit? Okay, sorry about butchering your name. Archit. You know what your name is? Okay, thanks a lot. And by the way, I did not forget, here comes your contest question of the day, folks. This is a pod, and it grows on a tree. Has a hard outer shell. It's a little bit messy. Has a seed on the inside coated in a slightly sticky substance, slightly sweet, but extremely tart. Oh God. Oh. There's a big brown seed in the center of it. And if you plant this big brown seed, it'll sprout and look like a huge bean. What is this? If you think you know, post your answer below. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody, and have a great day. This is Ray at the Voodoo Garden Channel. Adios.